Welcome to Beyond the Touchline. I'm your host, Mohammed Gubara,
And Marcus Anthony.
and this podcast is all about exploring the parts of the sport that stats, highlights, and scoreboards can't capture.
Here we go deep past the field, past the touchline to the mindset, journeys, culture, and real experiences that shape athletes, coaches, and teams. Whether you're a player, parent, coach, or someone who simply loves the game, this is a space where performance meets perspective.
Each week, we'll bring you conversations with athletes, coaches, and professionals across the sports world, diving into development, leadership, adversity, transitions, and the behind the scenes stories that define the sport at every level.
In today's episode of Beyond the Touchline, we're joined by Isaac Kannah, whose journey highlights a real and often overlooked pro pathway. After coming to the U.S. from Liberia, Isaac began his soccer journey with Wings United, later developing through Blackhawks and Minnesota Thunder Academy. His path continued at Northern Illinois University, where he played Division I, spending summers with the Chicago Fire PDL team before earning a professional opportunity overseas, including back-to-back promotions in Denmark. We're excited to dive into his story and break down what the pro path truly looks like. This episode matters because it shares the professional pathway through Isaac's development, our perspective, and lived experience, not through theory, promises, or highlights, reels.
Yep. The pro game is often viewed from the outside as a destination divided by contract status. In this conversation, Isaac walks us through the journey has actually looked like for him, the decisions, setbacks, adjustments, and mental challenges that shaped his path. Rather than presenting the professional pathway as a guaranteed outcome, and this episode frames it as personal process built through consistency, patience, resilience, and learning how to navigate uncertainty. For players dreaming of the pro level, parents trying to understand what that road may really involve, and coaches guiding athletes along the way, Isaac's story provides honest insight grounded in real experience. This episode isn't about selling a dream. It's about understanding the reality of the pro pathway through the eyes of someone who has lived it. Isaac, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm excited. I'm excited about this. Great intro, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
We try our
We did
best.
our best, man. Obviously, everything starts from like the early life and kind of introduction into soccer. What was life when you first came to the U.S. from Liberia, and how did soccer help you find your footing in the U.S.?
I think with soccer, I've been playing it since I was in Liberia. Like it was just ingrained in me. My dad played, so when I came to the States, I think in the beginning I wasn't playing with no club, so I was just outside downstairs in the apartment, just playing around, causing a bit of trouble. So my dad was just like, "Yo, we need to get him in, get him with a team because he just keeps playing." And I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I want to play." So and then he managed to find me a team, which was Wings. He managed to give me a tryout, and at the time, of course, my parents didn't have the money for it. So when you go to these clubs, you have to pay for it. So he gave me a tryout, and then had the trial went well, and I ended up getting like a scholarship to play for them. So that's how that came about. And I just started playing with Wings, and I just kept going from there.
Tell us a little bit about Wings United. What is Wings United? For those who don't know who Wings United.
I'm gonna try to remember. Wings was
brief
like
description, brief summary for the younger ones.
Wings was a football club, soccer club in Minnesota, out of Minnesota. It was usually had training around Waneka, like in the Broken Park areas. So it was just, Wings was just, the first club that I started on in Minnesota. So I don't really know more details about it, but I don't know. I know they're not together anymore, I'm assuming, because you have different clubs nowadays, but it was one of those clubs back in my days.
Our first organized experience, right, was with Wings, right? What did that structure, coaching, and competition teach you early on?
I think it was more maybe the organization of team play, because you take someone who play with his friends, just mostly like dribbling outside the goals most of the time. You don't have to pass anyone the ball. So when I got to play a team sport, it was more trying to know how to play together collectively, but also how to try to play a position or correct. You want to say, like whatever the coaches want, as I'm playing as a right back, how to try to play as a right back and what to do and what not to do at that age. Because of course, when I play as a right back, I want to just dribble all the way to the other side and try to score, but not really understanding the position. So it was also getting a little bit of understanding like what the positioning was, and also just how to play as a team.
Now that I'm coaching, I kind of see it just because I also played back home in Sudan, and coming here and playing organized soccer for the first time, like in actual grass, nice soccer ball, nice field. We have trainings, we have actual coaches and whatnot. It's kind of like a surreal experience just for me as well. Just because go back home, we just put whatever we got, backpacks, shoes, whatever it is, we just set it down and play and make soccer balls out of something. Who knows? So that's kind of how my experience as well coming into the US. I don't know, Marcus, you can speak a little bit more about your experience coming from. I mean, I know you were you were born in New York, but you grew up in Antigua, and I've been to Antigua too, and it's kind of similar, but more so your experience.
I mean, it's about the same. Like, 2-foot tackling, and then you come here, you got to stop that. Scissors tackling, because you're watching European football when you're outside of America. You're not watching like MLS now, And then you think about it, what would you guys all say we were just raw when we first got here and had to learn everything versus, where some kids already know they're a defender. You're just like, put me anywhere on the field. I'm dribbling the ball. I'm about to try and score a goal, So, yeah, it's about similar.
From kind of at the youth level, when did you kind of realize like, bro, I'm good at this, man?
That's a good question, because I don't think there was a defined moment where I realized, wow, I'm good at this. I think it was just people telling me, like, and but my dad was never telling me like, oh yeah, you're good at this. Oh yeah, he was just like trying to keep me humble. So I never told myself, yeah, I'm good at this. It was more just people telling me, and then just the teammates or the players I'm competing with, and seeing how I'm able to stack up with them. I always, in my head, I thought I was good, or I thought I was okay. So I don't know like exact moment where I was like, I'm good at this.
I mean, another question too, kind of follow up. How were your parents involved in the process of club soccer and taking you to practice, bringing you back? Or how did that process look like? Were they comfortable with other parents driving and training? What obstacles did you face while playing club soccer?
Or did you face it?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was, I had a conversation actually not too long ago with my dad, because I always want to like relive my time playing at the youth level. And he told me, my dad used to take me to training a lot when we was in Minnesota together. All the trainings, he tried to be taking the training, be on the sideline at games. He was on the touchline. Like he wanted to be involved. Like he used to work in logistics, so he had to switch his working hour. So instead of going to work in the morning, he switched to only do work in the night, because he wanted to come to every games and every training. So he was there. He makes jokes about it, because we know if you're from the Liberian community or the African community, your parents are really just dropping you off and going. So he just make jokes. He's like, yeah, when they see him taking me, they used to make jokes of him, like, oh, look at this guy, so I'll take his son. But he just saw it as something that I like to do, and he wanted to be there. So he was, my dad was there. My mom didn't really come to my game. My mom was more, she's afraid. Like when she come watch the game and I get in tackles, she doesn't like to see that. So she was afraid. But my dad was there. And of course, at some point, we had other parents that would pick me up as well. And then my dad used to pick some other players up in the community as well, like some of the other Liberian kids. So carpool, go around, just grab them, take them to training. So yeah, he was there until I started to get a bit like 14 around there. Then
Okay. No, that's good. Could you explain, like, give a little, I guess, an extra piece on that, right? How important was that to you and to where you are
Very
in life?
bro, it's huge, man. And that's something like I saw growing up, just in, I don't know, raising up in Garden Gate, Brooklyn Park, like just seeing how my dad was like taking me to these games. And it was not even just taking me to games and training, but I was also doing like first experience of one-on-one personal coaches, you can say, was my dad. So it was like after games or after training, we'll put in like extra work. He would take me on the field. You're like, okay, let's do this. He will be on the sideline with like a tape recorder, recording the games. And then when we come home, maybe he would try to like give me some pointers. He would never try to he would be my coach, but not really my coach, because he's always like, listen to your coaches. They're your coaches. But when we come home, it's like different. What I'm telling you is just what I see and what I think you should see as well. So I think it's very big, man, to have like your parents just being involved, just being invested in you as a soccer player. I mean, for me, I think it it took me quite far, because even at the time when he wasn't there, I was still like, what he installed in me, just like being dedicated. And then even though he wasn't there, I was like, okay, I'm still on this path. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, he's not here anymore. He's not taking me, but I was like, I'm already like determined
Would
for
you,
this.
would you say that transition or transfer to you being a parent as well?
100%. I think it's more so just, uh, like with my kids right now, it's more so just like playing in the yard with them,
Mm-hmm.
trying to, because they got they got so much energy, bro. And Marcus, you know this as well. It's like sometimes when they come home and my son want to play, and you be like, man, I'm so tired, man. Like, so I gotta be like, okay, fine, let's go, because I don't want him to associate like me saying no, even when I'm tired, because I
Yeah,
want him to love the game and enjoy the game. So
yeah.
I just feel like I can never say no. I'm always on like, okay, you want to play, fine, let's go. Well,
That's,
we can go kick around the backyard. Yeah.
No, that's huge. That's huge. And the one piece I want to kind of a little bit dive into is, how was your dad as like a parent from the sidelines during intense games, during those games that are like you got every other parent just jumping and whatnot? Did he have a moment where he had those sideline coaching moments, or did you look at the sideline and were like, okay,
worried.
what does he want me to do? Did he tell you, hey, do this, or not?
Or if you made a mistake or something.
Yeah, but I think, it's like I said, my dad used to have like a tape recorder, so he wasn't really doing too much talking on the sideline. He allowed the coaches to kind of just do their role and do their parts. He would just watch, and then when he watched, either we got clips of the game when we go home, we can take a look at it, and then he can give me his pointers on what he sees and what he doesn't see, and what I did well and what I could do better. So he wasn't like on the sideline yelling. At least I don't remember him yelling. He was just, he could be yelling, and I'm just like, but I zoomed him out.
Yeah, but you could if the experience was bad, which it wasn't. So at least that's how I think about it from time to time. If it's bad and your
Yeah.
parents are hard, then like,
Yeah, I mean, now kind of like I love diving into this because I don't think a lot of parents speak on it, but more so like, what were those conversations like coming after after a bad game or a good game, those car ride homes? How were they? Was your dad like tough and was like, hey, like, come on now? Or was it more so, what do you think about the game?
I think it was more like he tried to make it conversational. Maybe he just asked me like, what do I think about the game? What I think I did well, what I could have done better. And then maybe I give him my point. And then he's like, okay, yeah, I agree. But this is also what I see or what I saw. And this is what you can do. I think what my dad mostly harped on me was, I think he tries to make me to be a little bit of selfish at times. I think he noticed there was a fear I had of, I didn't really like to shoot, or I was afraid like if I shoot and I miss or something happened, then I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. So he just kept like trying to ingrain that in my head. Even like at the pro level, when I have conversation with him, he's like, he used to tell me, when you go out there, have like a set number. I want you to take 5 shots. If he gives me your opponent, it'll be that before a game. Take 5 shots. I don't care where the shots at, just take 5 shots. I promise you, one of them is gonna be a goal.
mm-hmm.
Because for some reason I wasn't really shooting. He was like, just take 5 shots. No one's gonna remember the ones you miss. Like, they're only gonna remember the one you scored.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah.
you kind of went from, you played at Wiggs United, you also played at Blackhawk, and then Minnesota Thunder Academy, which exists today. I'm guessing Blackhawk is St. Paul Blackhawks, or is it just a different?
Yeah.
Okay.
St. Paul Black.
Like, how did each environment challenge you differently?
Yeah, I think for Wings, it was more, like I said, the development of playing in teams, understanding the organization soccer. And I think when I moved to Blackhawks and things, it was more like, I think it was really based on the coach I was with. I was with Yusuf. I think with him, he kind of made me realize like how to see the game, understand the position, because I also did Blackhawks and a little bit of Twin Stars. So it was like really understanding your position you're playing, like how you should play this position, and also being comfortable with playing different positions. Because sometimes you'll put me as a center mid, center back, right wing, just getting that. And then he used to have this thing. I think Blackhawk was more structure, more technical understanding of how you should play the position. Where when I went to Minnesota Thunder, I think it was more like the competition, as in when we were playing other academies. It was the first time where I'm like, when we go outside the States, Because when you're in Minnesota, you play Minnesota, you're like, you can be good in
Yeah.
Minnesota until you get outside of Minnesota. So
Yeah.
getting that exposure, playing teams like from Illinois, you're like, damn, these dudes are raw.
Right.
And their setup and what they have, you're like, man, like it just opened. I think Minnesota Thunder opened my eyes because we was going to a lot of places when we was playing a lot of academies who had like good setup, like a Red Bull Academy who had that really good setup with the New York Red Bull and their player and their development. It was just like, okay,
Way different. Yeah. You could tell those
yeah,
guys are
they're
bringing
good.
them on, and they're, yeah.
You're like, yeah, these boys are good.
So all right, so I jumped for this one, right? You mentioned Blackhawks and you mentioned Twin Stars, right? Those are still clubs that are going right now, right? Could you talk a little bit more about when you were introduced to those system? Like you talked about the coaching side. When you were introduced to them, were there any challenges that you said, like you'd say jumping from one to the other brought? Was there any discomfort leaving one club going to the other? You know? Or were you just like, I love football. Wherever I go, I'll play and make the best of it?
I think it was the thing with Blackhawks and Twin Stars. It was a bit similar because it was coached by the same coach.
Okay.
So Yusuf was Blackhawks, and then also Twin Stars more like the men's league, the MPL,
Yeah.
MPSL type thing. So it was like I still had that structure and still had that technical understanding of the way he wanted the team to play. So it was just ingrained in both of those clubs. So there was no differences there. But I think more when I played Thunder, and then now I'm under a different coach, and then he had his tactical training, his awareness of what he wanted. Of course, there was a bit of a confliction because I'm like, we did this, with Yusuf, like I play like this. But I think it was more so what was required of me and what was required of the team. Because what may have been required of me at Blackhawks or Twin Stars was completely different what was required of me on Thunder, so maybe I had to do more, like more as in when I get the ball, it's like the people I'm surrounded by are not the same as with Twin Stars and the players I'm surrounded by. So maybe I'm like having to dribble more, I don't know, trying to create something more.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
get what you're
that was
saying.
more of the difference. So
For me, like for the younger players who are watching this podcast, like I have two questions. The first one is, how important is it to be versatile in terms of position, in terms of your playing ability? How important is it? And my second question is, what technical, tactical habits did you pick up that still help you today?
the first question, how important is it to be versatile? I mean, for me, I think it's important because I think it allows me to be able to bring more value to the team. Of course, you can do that if you're not versatile. You can be like a really good winger, and like still bring value to the team. But it allows me to, I don't know, because when you get into the competition, because soccer is very competitive. So when you get into that competition realm, you're gonna have players who are either better than you, or they just fit the system in that position better than you. So you're gonna have to be thinking like, okay, where because I need to be on the field, I need to be playing. Like I need to start playing. So I'll be like, okay, I think it's important to be versatile because it allows you to, especially like if you're playing if you're a defender, you should be versatile and able to play anywhere in the back.
Yep.
Because one, the system's gonna change. So
Yep.
you could be a right back and they end up being a right wing back. You gotta understand how to play that. Like and same with midfield and same with forwards, because you can play with two strikers or you can play with a left wing striker. So you have to be versatile. If you're playing the attacking half, the middle half, and the defense half, you should understand kind of how to play all of those positions if you can. So that's important. And then repeat the second question again.
What tactical, technical habits that helped you along the way that still help you today that you picked up from the youth level?
I think for me, where I got the most the tactical awareness from was from playing with Twin Stars, and because I was playing with ex-professional players who understood the game and their thinking was completely different than mine. And also just like in training, when I was with Yusuf, he used to stop the training session just to ask, what should you do here? What are you thinking? And then he tells you like, okay, yeah, but you could do it like this. So him stopping the game to explain it, to really explain what position I was playing and what he wanted me to do in that system. I think that helped me a lot. And that also made it so easy for me when I was transitioning to like college and then from college to pro, because I had this understanding where I think, and Marcus, you guys notice a lot. You guys coach. You have your own tactics. And for me, you will play under different coaches. You just have to understand like what their tactics and know how to pick it up quick. Because
Yeah.
tactics and technical is something that you're gonna learn from different coaches to coaches. So I think what he taught me is how he developed me in that way helped me because I can pick up on other coaches I'm playing on there. Be like, okay, this is how I want you to play. All right, cool. I know how to do this. I understand how to do this.
Explain to our listeners how old you were when you touched into Twin Stars at the NPSL level when you were playing there, right? Because you were playing Wings, you were playing Blackhawks, and then you were playing Twin Stars. And I'm pretty sure all of that kind of cross paths within that same, that time frame. The year, that's the first one. The second one is I kind of lost the second one, but the first one, like how young were you when you were playing with ex-pro players, right?
Yeah. I think I got onto the stage of doing that when I was 15, I think. 14. But the thing is, just going back to my dad always wanted me to play with older kids, even when I was young. Like he wanted me to just play. He didn't want me to play so much with my age group. If he sees the opportunity to be like, okay, that team is good, let's try to put him there. But when I got to Twin Stars, I think I was around 15, if I'm not mistaken. That's when Joseph kind of through the Blackhawks thing got me on there. But I was scared, man, bro. The fear. When I used to come, it's funny because when I used to go play games and we play other teams, grown men, like I'm 15. And when these guys are wearing soft grounds, bro, I'd be like, dang, man, I do not want to play. I get scared, bro, because I'm like, these guys are about to kick me.
Yep.
So, and you could tell when I played, like, it was funny because the older guys on Twin Stars, they'll make fun, like, oh my God, this guy made a comment. He's like, I need to put you in a cage with a lion so you can just like develop. I'm like, bro, get out of here with that. But you can see how I played, bro, because I was not at 15, like, I was trying to let go of the ball very quick. Like, because I didn't want to get kicked. So whenever you play ball, just try to let go. It's so quick. And then over time that developed, I just got more confident in myself. And then like Joseph allowing me to play on a here and there and learn. So I was 15 and then
For that piece, for the kids listening, what mattered more at that age? Exposure or development?
For development. Yeah, I think it was development for me, man, because I mean, you're 15, like some kids hit that stage different. Maybe some kids are not that good at 15, but then they blossom at like 17 or something like that. Like everybody have that moment at a different age. Yes, I was good at 15, but 16, 17, I got better. So I was the development for me was really important because as I'm developing the exposure will come with it.
Nowadays, I feel like a lot of the younger kids are more so, I need to play at this level at this time. I need to be this at this time, and I need to be pro at this time. And for me, I kind of tell a lot of the kids, I mean, I've never experienced the pro pathway or anything, but more so that kind of opened my eyes now that you spoke about it and talked about the development piece. Because, I mean, like you said, there's some kids who are 15, 16 who are playing, who has pro contracts. They're not at the youth level. And then there are other kids who are going to blossom at kind of different rate and whatnot. So that's kind of a cool takeaway for me personally. And I think a lot of the kids should take that takeaway from you because like it is, everyone develops differently. So Marcus talked about egos and checking your ego and that piece. Like looking back now, did you have of like this mini ego of like, shoot, I'm playing with big dogs now, like I'm good? Or how did that play out?
I think for me, I mean, I think I was humble, man. I think playing with them was more of I was asking them questions. Like I'll be trying to ask these guys so much questions, man. I was so intrigued on like certain things they do, like why'd you make that pass? How'd you see that pass? Okay, I just wanted to learn because also their CV, their what they have done. You was playing with guys you don't even know, like have played overseas, played in Europe, play all these different countries, and now they're playing, but they're 30. But the way they're playing with their mind. So how can you not be like, thinking this guy must be slow, but he is slow, but you cannot get past him because he's so smart at using his body.
Dude, like that is right now, like when we play, we're not sprinting. Yeah. We're just kind of like just jogging here and there. And a lot of kids are like, bro, why aren't you sprinting? I'm like, why do we need to sprint if you don't have to? Like all it is just
Yeah,
pass and move and kind of do
yeah,
that.
So remember when
yeah.
you first went over, right? You're in Europe when you went to Bridges, right? I think we had a conversation, and then you hit me with, you said, bro, what, you know, since being over here, this is what I've learned. If you're fast and everybody else over here is fast, we've had this conversation. I don't know if you remember where I'm going with this. You're like, if everybody that you're playing with is fast like you are, is speed going to be the thing that changes the game, or is it the way you think, you know? And you're just like, everybody over in Europe plays fast. They are physical. They are what's not. So how do I best them? You told me, and ever since you told me, you made that statement, you're like, yeah, you got to think faster. You got to be more aware. You got to be so, it has nothing to do with your speed, right? Your physical speed, but your ability to think and see things that others won't, that will give you the advantage in the game. And that's something I've taken with me to every kid, even at high school, even at college. I'm like, your physical attributes have nothing to do with this. You just got to know how to have a good first touch, how to read your space well, and just let the ball do some of the work.
I like that piece as well because while you were coaching me, I kind of remembered that thought as well. But also, like, just we also spoke about it in previous episode about the importance of being student of the game. Like, it's not just about kicking the ball and running, and actually understanding why you made that decision. And for me as a coach, especially with the younger ages, it's like a player makes a pass, and I'm like, hey, why did you make that pass? And some of the kids are like, and I'm like, when you do this, that means I'm not really happy about you doing this. If you tell me, hey, I made that pass because my teammate was open and he's good at 1v1s, then I'll be like, okay, cool. Thanks. Like, that's for me, it helps the player develop at a faster rate in terms of knowing why they made the decision they did. Tell me about kind of your journey and being a student of the game. I know you talked a little bit about asking questions, playing at the MPSL level, but throughout your journey, how important was it for you to be a student of the game, or at least
For me,
coaches who helped you be a student of the game?
I think for me, it's always important to be a student of the game because you always want to get better, man. Because you have people that are that are coming for your place. What
Yeah.
is like, but for me, it's funny because what is like a competition? If I'm competing with the guy I'm competing with, I would still like try to pick his head. And if I see him, he played a game, like, hey, okay, he did this. I'm like, bro, like, why'd you do that? How'd you get past this defense or whatever in that way? Of course, we're competing, but I'm also trying to get insight. But I think being a student of the game has always been there. Then when I got on Twin Stars and Blackhawk, it's just became even more because of the coach I was under. And like I said, all coaches have different ways of trying to train players and teach players how to do things. I think at a 15-year-old, at age 15, I don't think Yusuf wasn't saying like, oh, don't dribble. Like he would never stop me. Like, don't dribble. He was just like, more when and where you should dribble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop your creativity. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to make you more effective at it. Of course, I want you to dribble, but I don't want you to be dribbling in our half and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, I think it's also like when I play attacker, I'll ask our defender what is going through their head if attacker is running at them. Because if he tells me this, then I'm trying to use this when I play another team and I'm going against another defender. I'm like, okay, if this guy is saying, like this is what we're thinking when you're running when you do certain things with the ball, I'm like, okay, he's going to go for it. I'm like, I'm not going to do that then. Or I'd be like, just how can I beat you? What do I look at when I'm trying to beat you on a 1v1? Maybe he's like, look at my body language or something.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll always be a student of the game. From college level, pro.
And now, I mean, now we're kind of going from youth to like the college. Walk us through like your recruitment, your decision to attend Northern Illinois University, and like what did that process look like for kids who are currently in the recruitment process, or kids who are going to be within that recruiting process?
Man, I think the big thing is if you're someone who, I don't know, from the Liberian community or like who have no siblings or parents that went to college, I think it would be nice to sort someone out who went to college just to get the understanding of, like, because I hadn't. no idea. Most people like me, like some of the players I play, had no idea, like what when school starts coming in, what the school is, like what is required, how to set up yourself in a way, be like, okay, if I play at this school, the chances of me going this place is so much easier because of where they are. So I had no idea about that. And when I think I started getting, I think the first recruitment letter I had was, I think I was not even in, I was 15 around there. I think I was like 15, 16 around there, and I got letters from, like, I think it was Butler. So that was my first, but I didn't even know like anything.
Yeah.
So when you get this, you just like, oh yeah, I got this letter, like, yada, 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 trying to like flex, but you have no idea like
What's going
so
on?
I never, and the thing is, yeah, so my recruiting process was quite simple. And I think with Northern Illinois, I had Kareem, you guys know Kareem, like he was there. And I was playing under his dad, and we was taking these trips sometimes to see him play. So I was just getting accustomed with the school. So I didn't really go on, and that's the thing, I didn't really go on so many visits. I think I should have, but my focus was, okay. And I think what Northern Illinois did so well was the coach that was there, the assistant coach at the time, Scott Donnelly. Bro, he was calling me, a lot, having conversations with me, having conversations with my mom. So it was like, he did a good job in building that. For a young kid, you just want to, a coach that showed interest in you. You'd be like, okay, like, I want to go there. So I think, yeah.
No, so I was going to just, sorry for cutting you there. So is it important that the relationship is built with the parents and the player? Like, because so many kids want D1. They want to go D1. They want to go to these big schools, but don't understand, like, the process. Is just like, oh, I just want to offer, or right now social media is big, I just want the title. Is the title more important than actually knowing if you're going to fit in, you're going to play, and how to navigate life? Like you said, don't know what's about to go on in college. Like, I didn't also think you were just there for soccer versus school. I just threw a lot at you.
But with that question, I literally, like, I was just trying to play soccer.
Yeah.
But I use it. Soccer got me into school. Soccer got me a degree. So my priority was soccer, but eventually when I was at Northern, I started to realize, like, yo, you're a student athlete, not an athlete student, so it's like, I bet. But I think Northern Illinois for me was a great fit, because also me coming in, they were also losing some seniors, like key senior players. So I somewhat knew like my chances of playing will be high, and it wouldn't be that much of a competition, because I was coming in with probably one other in my position at the winger at the time. So I think you also got to think about that. You go on these school visits, you want to know, like, okay, how many of your seniors are leaving? Is this person in this position? You just want to, like, kind of understand, like, what your chance, because you don't want to come in. I'm not saying this is bad. If anyone come and do this, like, redshirt, that's fine. But that was not even in my thought. I didn't even know what redshirt was. So I was not going to come to school. And then not play and just train, but go to school.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you, like, bro, I was coming there for soccer. So you trying to tell me I have to come here and not play for a year? Like, that was like, that was not in my head. I think if someone would have said that to me, I would have been like, yeah, I'd rather just go back to Minnesota and sit there then. Because what? So that was not going to happen, bro.
I mean, we jumped into college, but through your high school experience, what was that high school experience like?
Man, I think I went to 3 different high schools. I started playing high school ball. Yeah. I started playing high school soccer, varsity level, when I was in 8th grade. So
what school?
So that was quite that.
What school?
Armstrong.
All right. Gonna name all the schools when you start making the moves. Yep.
I love my
old coach.
Nah, yeah. So I was going to Plymouth Middle School, and then I went to a tryout for Armstrong, and then I think I got on the varsity team at an 8th grader, which is quite nice. People are like, oh, you're 8th grader, you're playing in the varsity. But it was just like, also that's what I'm saying. Like, I was just trying to be a student, because now I know, like, the guys that was already there, I was just like, man, this guy's good. Man, this guy's good. Man,
name drop.
This guy's good.
Name drop a few.
I think when I was there, I think
there are people we might have.
Kareem was definitely there. We had Matthew, what we call him Gaga.
Yep, Matt.
We had Jamie. We had like the Marshall. I think we had some other players there. Like, so when I came in, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's just luck, bro. Because when I get to these teams, I end up playing, and I cannot tell you. Yes, I was good, but I feel like there has to be some luck, bro. Like, and wishes you need that in soccer, because I'm an 8th grader and I'm just somehow managed to find a spot, and I'm playing on a varsity team, and these guys they're also good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played there. And I think was my 9th grade. I think I went to Cooper my 9th grade. I don't know.
No, sophomore. Your sophomore year.
Okay, my sophomore year. Yeah. So I went to Cooper, and this was a different one coming from Armstrong, because it was different, bro. Cooper was one of those who had soccer players, but they rather play different sports.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, I know you can play. Like
Playing basketball.
It's like,
and
nah, bro.
football.
Like I rather play basketball, because it's what's big.
Yeah.
Which credit to them. Like they rather just play junior varsity basketball than play like varsity soccer, because they think like, oh, that team sucks. But I remember, I don't know what it was. I got to Cooper. I don't think at one point I wasn't playing. I didn't start playing. I think the coach was just like, wasn't trying to play me, so I was just training. And that's from my humble side, because I didn't understand why I wasn't playing. Maybe whatever reasons. So I was like, all right, cool. But that environment, because I played with like good players there as well. Like Marcus was there, Peter, Linus, Joe, and then we had a guy called Taka from Japan.
Yep.
It was a good squad. It was a good squad, but it was also more where it became sort of, I don't want to say a leader, because I wasn't a leader, even though people were like, oh yeah, you're from this. I was still trying to be like, dude, like just do it. I try to collect it with the team, bro, because I'm always about the team. Even going to Cooper, I would never be like, yeah, I'm better than everyone. It's like, bro, how can I help us win? So that was a different experience with Cooper, man, because it was completely different, because you had dudes like who really enjoy, even though some of them weren't that good, but they enjoyed playing the game, and they were open to just understanding it.
Team.
And I think I went back to Armstrong after that. We had a game against Armstrong.
Our section game.
It was and then section game.
When we played
section game. So it was just like, Marcus noticed, man.
Yep.
It was but we had like, bro, Cooper was like, playing with you guys was fun, because we had like, what was this one guy who was banging in so many goals from North Branch or something? You remember him, Marcus? There was this guy who was scoring so many goals, man.
No. Paul Younger, but that was TG, wasn't it? Paul Younger?
Nah. It wasn't Paul, bro. It was just one guy we played against. It was also in session, but it was just funny because you have like men's like Marcus and Linus. There was like, yeah, bro, I got him. It's like that's how it was. It was like you just had to have 2 good midfielders, two good attacker, 2 good defender, and then you're able to just somehow find a way to get a win. So yeah, Cooper was good. And then went back to Armstrong and find a playing varsity there. But somehow I got when I went to.
I don't think you played at Armstrong. You just went there after the season was done. You went to Armstrong after the season, then.
Yeah. So when I got to Armstrong, then I left. I went to Perish's Academy, which for me this was also different, different, because now I'm going from like big schools like Armstrong and Cooper to Perish's at the time. It was a charter school, and our graduated class was like the first. To graduate. So coming in, different culture, and I love the school. I love the people. I love all the people there, man. It was also a learning experience for me. Also, like, but it's easy for me to transition to these schools because I feel like I'm such a humble person and I want to learn. So when I got there, it was no doubt the talent that Yusuf was bringing in. It was kids who didn't understand how to like team sports, or didn't understand tactical. So it was just funny watching training, bro. They were raw talent. Like, there was a guy, bro, all he wanted to do was just nutmeg you. All he wanted, and he was good, bro. He was so good at the ball at his feet, bro. But he was just like lazy, bro.
Names out.
Nah, I can't do that, bro. But it was just like when he lose the ball, bro, it was your fault instead of his fault. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, but I think that's also where the leadership part kind of came in, because it was Gerald and I who was captain at the time. So we had to figure out a way to talk to these players, man, because you cannot come to him with like, oh, bro, what are you doing? You gotta be like, man, like you gotta be like, dude, you're good. Like we all know that you probably one of the best dribbler on the team, whatever he's not, but you could be so much better, bro, if you just like allow us to help. In a way, like, bro, don't be trying to dribble 10 guys, like, pass the ball. Like, and then when you have 1v1, like, we're not stopping you. And if we lose the ball, just try to get it back. That's it. So I think Percy was fun, bro, because we went through the team gel together. I think my junior year, we didn't even play. Yeah, I think it was my senior year when we won state, because now we can play. We had to be like redshirted, I think, my junior year. So really, none of us can really play.
Because of the transfer.
Yeah, so none of us can play, which is also good because it gives us time to just like keep training together. Like building the team combination, like the rhythm and everything, like understanding what Yusuf wanted us to do, bro. When we clicked, and also Yusuf was doing a good job putting together scheduling games, always playing good teams as well.
Yep.
So when we clicked, bro, it was so easy now because you had the leadership, you had the talent, but you had the other players who's willing to learn. So you just combined everything, bro. Just like it was a perfect for us. And then we just went on a roll of just killing teams. Like killing teams, bro.
I think I even watched a video on YouTube. Oh, it was like a couple years ago when I was starting to coach high school and whatnot on CCX, and I saw a video of Ishmael, Debaki, all of them just rolling through teams.
Yeah.
And CCX talking about something. This team is unstoppable and whatnot, which is like crazy. Tell us about your state experience. Going through the state tournament, winning state, and let us know what year you won state.
Oh, I think it was 2010.
2010?
I think it was 2010.
Yeah, somewhere there, yeah, somewhere.
I think it was 2010. I think, bro, that experience was wild, bro. Okay, it was. I think leading up to that, we knew it was gonna get harder. We weren't just like, oh yeah, we're gonna run 2 teams, bro.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was gonna get harder. Like you was gonna play good teams. Anything can happen, bro. You can get knocked out by anyone. So I think for us, especially from Gerald and I, just being the leader, we're just like trying to make the guys like, bro, we got to be humble, bro. We cannot. Yeah, we're scoring 11 goals on this one team, but it's not gonna be like that. You know, like you're not about to be scoring 11 goals throughout this competition, bro. So there are some teams that are gonna be like, but what team used to do when they play us, bro? They used to try to play physical. They used to come out to play physical, bro. But then that's where just like, and our game was just like keep the ball moving.
Yeah,
they can come, but if they cannot get close to you, they're not gonna do anything.
Let the ball do the
so
work.
just keep the ball moving, like pass and move, pass and move, pass and move, and then you have like strikers like Gerald up top who just score goal for fun. It was just easy. So yeah, when we got to who do we play in the state final? I don't know if it was. I don't know who we played in the state final. I forgot who we played in the state final, but I think we won 2-1, and that was a hard game, and that was a game where I was like, man, I was like nervous and like everything was going through my head, but I was like scared because I didn't lose at that stage. I'm like, we cannot lose. This cannot happen. We cannot lose this game.
First time getting there too, you know?
First time getting there, and then how we got there, and then like people who didn't want us to be there because we was a different school, and you have these big schools where parents starts getting into the picture saying this about the players, and then trying to cancel that noise and just focus only on playing soccer.
Yep.
Bro, when we won, so it meant everything, bro. Not just to like the players, but also to the school. It's like now people know about the school.
Yeah, no.
So it's just like,
let me ask you this question, right? So most of your career, you had Yusuf as your coach. How influential was he throughout your whole, like your development, throughout your learning? You've given him credit based on how he helped with you learning at 15 years old, and he was there to like. He's still there to this day. I'm pretty sure, you know. Well, how influential was he with your development, even when you went to college and stuff like that?
I mean, yeah, I give Yusuf credit a lot because I think I worked with him more, but also the huge credit to all the coaches, like from my youth years. Like I think I had Ryan Ankwe dad. Choma was my coach at one point. So he was also amazing having him. And then, yeah, but I think I played under Yusuf for a longer time. Like,
yeah.
So he was very influential of just giving me a new perspective on how I see the game, just how I understand the game from the position that I play, or how to simplify things, you know, like, I think given his soccer brain, in my opinion, you could speak to him about it, and then he could tell you what to do and what not to do. But I think when I got to college, it was not more so speaking to him about soccer. Not really. I think I was just like coming to him, we just go hang out and stuff, like conversation, conversation back in the days, you know. But I think I had one when I was I went to national team camp in Portland with the U.S. national team. And I think I remember I called Yusuf on that. I don't remember quite. I just call him just to like, kind of just like, just have a chat, bro. You know? So just like, yeah, coach, like, I'm here, like, you know, this is what's going on. You just like give him like, oh, you got this. Like, I know you got this. Just like a little motivation. So for me, like, I give him mad respect, bro. Like, just what if he had done for my career? You know, of course I was good. He just had me thinking differently. He prepared me in a way for college, you know, also prepared me in a way for the pros because I was playing with ex-pros.
Yeah,
so
just set the tone, the foundation. Yep. Go ahead.
So I love that because I think also like for the younger coaches who are coming up, like you make a big impact on someone's life. Doesn't matter how. It's not just about coaching football, but it's also about being a human being and helping those kids. And a lot of, for me personally, it's like, yes, I'm not just like, once you graduate, like, shoot, just let me know whatever you need. Like, now we can like chat, just not about soccer, but also life,
Just like, yeah.
because we all experience different things. And that's kind of like a big piece for me is coaches who made an impact on me. I mean, Marcus coached me throughout high school, and I started coaching from that piece just because of the influential piece. But also my club coaches, Coach Nate and Coach Joe, those, I only played 1 year of club soccer. So I feel like it's a real blessing, especially when those kids now, Liberian kids, just general African kids who go and play club soccer. I'm like, this is a real like blessing, because not a lot of kids get to play college soccer, or at least have a support system, a guidance behind you. And now look, reflecting back to your experience, I feel like Yusuf was a big guidance and support system for you, but who else played a role in kind of your development along the way, especially through the college route?
I think the coach that recruited me, Scott Donnelly, like the one who wanted me to come to Northern Illinois. He also like he played a big part. All the coaches there as well, but I think Scott was more like, because you most likely to talk to the assistant coach than the head coach, you know.
Yeah.
So you have that little relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
always
you
be
know,
that.
if you want to talk bad about the head coach, you can't go to the head coach. You know, you gotta. Scott was like that. I still speak. Send him some message here and there, just thanking him, man, because he was also, when I got to that level of having to believe in me. Because man, as a soccer player, bro, you need a coach that believes in you, bro. It's just like, it's hard for you to make it. So he just believed in me. Like, I think, allowing me to, like, when I got that starting spot, it was just like, I had that spot, but I knew there was competition, but just never feeling like so satisfied, like, or just so like chill because I got the spot. And I think like you should never ever feel chill if you get a spot on a team, because someone's coming for it. So I think also just him, like his brain, like how he wanted us to play. But it was funny because he wanted to get me on this where I'm eating so healthy. And bro, I couldn't do that. I wasn't training enough for that, bro. Bro, we used to travel. We used to travel like on the team bus, and they used to give us a sandwich. I'm always asking for mayonnaise. I could not eat a sandwich. And they're trying to tell me like, oh, this is not healthy for you. I'm like, bro, I'm not eating the dry sandwich with mayonnaise. Yo, please stop. Like, so he was very like, he was like wanting me to be a professional at college level, like have head on straight. Or like, if you need this, just come to us. We'll help you. Like I wish they did. Like they helped me out a lot, bro. Like he understood. Like coming from Minnesota, it's just my mom and I at the time, because my dad was in a different state. So he like whatever he spoke to my mom about, like, oh yeah, just make sure my son is good. Like he was trying. He was big up to him when I was, and I think he made that easy for me to go there as well. But it's not even just the coaches, bro. It's the players. When we talk about Twin Stars, it's the players that I play with, like. And then when I got to the college level, bro, when I came in and what we was able to do that year, like being ranked 13 in the nation at one point, going far in the tournament. We just had a court, bro. We had like leaders and we had players, but we had like this chemistry of teams where everybody wanted to see everybody succeed or win. You still competing with each other, but you still at the end of the day, like, bro, let's go out there and try to win.
That's nice. Talk a little bit about that piece, right? That last piece you said. Everyone wants everyone to win. How does that fit? How does that fit in today's world of soccer? When we think about youth soccer, like we think about high school, I think that fits well in high school. But talk about like youth soccer, like club. Like, you played on Blackhawks, you played for Wings, Minnesota United, Minnesota Thunder Academy. But talk about that piece. Like, what does it mean to want to see everyone win? I mean, I know you're just one of the 40 or 50 players on your college team, right? But how important is it that everyone should want to see everyone win in the environment that you're competing in?
I think it's very important, bro, because you're playing a team sports. Man, like if you want to see, especially when you get to like college or even when you play a team sports, bro, it's like the players that you play with, especially in college, they're like more than just your teammates. So you see these guys on a daily, like you gotta catch them, and some of them in the class. You come to training with them every day. You run, you do fitness drills with them every day. You're with them on a daily. So it's like you build like these connections with them. And some players have like better connection than others, but at the end of the day, it's like we're all trying to grind. We're all trying to make that spot. It's nothing personal. And if you end up being in that position, I'm like, yo, bro, like go get it. Like, go win, but just know I'm also coming for it. It's not like, I'm not saying go win. I'm like, oh yeah, you can win. I'm just chilling. It's like, no, I want you to succeed, but I'm going to push you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and that's good because we talk about this at club, right? And we're just like, we believe that competition should be natural to help each other grow, right? And if that doesn't help you grow, then are we really helping each other, or are we just sitting on the fact that you're a good player and I'm just gonna respect you? You know, did you ever just sit? Like, I know you and Kareem had battles, and I know you and Kareem had competition. Like me, you, Linus, Thomas. We could keep going on names upon names, but whenever we stepped on the field, Ahmad, all those guys, what were we doing? Were we battling to help each other get better?
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's hard for players to like somewhat put the ego aside, bro. I think I heard you talking about that on your podcast last time, Marcus, on this podcast, bro. It's difficult, man. And so for me to say and be like, oh, because at some point, bro, you need your ego.
Yeah.
Like you need that ego to just get you out of a situation where you're like, bro, today ain't nobody stopping me. I'm, but
Fair enough.
in terms of my like Kareem, like Gerald and Ishmael and them, like I think we just we have that friendship where if someone have an ego or if someone's like, oh, I'm better than you, we laugh at it because like, bro, that's good. You should, you should think that way. But when we get on the field to play, bro, it's like I want them to win. Like, because if they win, if I'm on the team, I'm also winning, right?
Yeah.
My time is gonna come at some point. So I never had anything against those guys, like the Ish, the Gerald, the Kareem, the you, the Linus, like because I'm grinding with you guys on the daily, man. Like, so it's more like you're like my soccer brothers, it's like we're battling every day we go play a game, like, so why would I not want you to succeed? It's not like by me wanting you to succeed is taken away from me succeeding.
Yeah.
Because still, like, I'm still trying to get that spot, even wanting you to succeed, but I'm also want myself to succeed, so I'm pushing for that spot.
No, that's great because even with me at high school, I think the reason why we went this far this year, winning the section since 2019 and being in a state tournament for the first time since 2019 is because of the players I had, the leaders I had. Like, yes, some were better than the other, but they all wanted, like, they were all going for one goal, and they helped the other players buy into the process and the culture within that program, and knowing that anyone within the program can play at that level, can play up, and competition between each other. Like, I don't think there was a game that we had the same starting 11 game in and game out. And we see a lot of teams who have the same starting 11. So it's a lot easier for us to scout and be able to win games. But um, talk us talk a little bit more about the culture within the college environment. How was that culture, and how did it shape you going into the pros?
Bro, I think the college culture for me definitely shaped me in more so like preparation, because you have the facility, bro. You have free access to a gym. It's just up to you. I think Marcus said this in a podcast, like, you can have personal training, but if you don't put in the work, then it's just like, what's the point? I
Yeah.
can have good facility, but if I don't show up to put in the work, then it's like, I'm just looking at it. Yeah,
Yep.
cool, it's nice. I'm just gonna tell you, yeah, we had this nice place, but I've never been to the gym. It looks nice. So I think it was more so like the facility, bro, and the day-to-day requirements. You have the school side of it, but you also have like training. You have to be a trainee at this time. You have to, like, after training, maybe you have to do like cold tub. And I used to hate cold tub. I used to hate it, bro.
Fuck you, didn't it? It grew on you, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. So
I keep it
think,
right
and
now.
that's the
When
thing
you
with
get it, go ahead.
no, but that's the thing with the States, or like, that's the thing when it comes to the college side. It's like, it really prepares you for the professional level, because these setups that they have, you might not even have it in some. I didn't even have it when I was playing pro, like in some of these places. So like the date, you have physio, you have nutritionist, you have the gym, bro. You have everything at your display. So it's like, it's just up to you to be like, to utilize it. So it really taught me on that, like, okay, I have all of these. I come from high school where I didn't even, I didn't see these, but now I have all of this. I cannot not take advantage of this. I gotta get in the gym, and then just being on your own, bro. I was on my own, like, so it's like we have a schedule, team schedule, training schedule, eating schedule. I have to show up to these things. Well, like no one's gonna be like, hey, Isaac, wake up. And like, yeah, you have your teammates, but sometimes it's just you have to be grown about it. So it helped me to be professional before I got into the professional setting. In that, yeah, easy way.
Good.
Before we jump into the summers and what was that like, but how did you balance schoolwork with your kind of training games? Because I know it's a lot, meetings, all that other stuff. How did you balance those two? Because I feel like for me personally, going into college and not knowing about college, I kind of slacked on my education and thought that, you know what, I'll get this done later. So not having your parents to yell at you, not having someone to be like, hey, get this done. What was that like? How did you balance both?
It was my freshman year. It was tough, bro. I don't even know if I balanced my freshman year, to be honest with you. Like my friend, I think how I balanced is when I got on academic probation. Then I was like, okay, then I have to balance these things, bro. Bro, that's how I balanced the school part. Like they hit me with the, your grades, your GPA is not good. When you start to realize like you can get kicked out, or you can no longer play anymore, you're like, oh, they for real, even though I'm this good or think I'm this good, but they ain't playing. So I think my freshman year was hard, bro, because I was just like, I used to these things. My mom's not here. I got a dorm. Like, I just want to go to bed. I can choose when I go to class or not go to class. Like, what? Like, I go, bro, and in Illinois, bro, it gets cold in where I was. So wintertime, dudes be, I'm not going to class today. Like, nah. So I think I started to get out that childish way, man. I think because also I got academic probation. I just realized like I can lose playing soccer, bro. And like, not even just that, I can lose like this great opportunity I had to get a degree. And then I just started like, but the good thing is I had a counselor. So how we pick the classes also depends around the training schedules.
Yeah.
So I bring my schedule and then we pick the classes like that. Nah, you cannot have. And my counselor also talked to the coaches. So he helped me a lot. So that's how I kind of like work my ways. Like, bro, I'm not having training I'm not having class when I'm going to have training at this time. Like if I have to take that class, then I communicated with the coach. They'd be like, yeah, okay, you don't have to come to training today, or you can come late. So that's how I kind of balance with my counselor, and also just myself, and understanding that I can not play soccer. I can go back to Minnesota. Like I didn't want to lose that. So yeah.
Hey, so we're going to bounce back a little to high school, right? On that counselor piece. Would you say, if you're giving advice to younger kids now in high school, right? Would you say utilizing their counselor would be something to start doing now so that they know and have an understanding that it's accessible to them at college as well? Just to kind of grasp on, especially for student athletes.
Bro, 100%, bro. If you're someone like me who was like not really structured and just only like focus on the soccer side and just be like going along, if it comes, it comes. Like I think you should utilize your counselor, bro. Utilize all the resources you can utilize in high school, bro. Like to just prepare you for
good
what's gonna come at college. Yeah, bro. That's the thing. You don't know. You don't think about like, oh, I gotta get good grades. Like. To get to the school, bro. I used to have colleges that wanted me, but when I told them my GPA, bro, that communication was gone. But that communication was gone so fast. I was like, all right, cool, But then when you get older and realize the colleges that actually wanted you, you're like, yeah, okay, that's fair. Why you didn't want me? I was like, bro, like Cornell wanted me at one point, bro. It's Cornell. My GPA was not even gonna touch, so I was like, fair, bro, fair game, but you don't know that, so I think it's very important, bro. I think it's very important. I think like utilizing your counselor, but also like your teachers as well. And I feel like when I got to Percy's, the teachers also helped in a way because the class was smaller. And what I didn't realize is when I was in big schools, bro, it's like I don't really raise my hands when I'm in a big classroom. I don't like to participate.
We all sit down.
It's like I'm scared. Just sit down and pretend like you know what's going on. I'd be in the back like when they're doing math and I'm lost, bro. I'd be like, all right, cool. I think I got this. I have no idea, bro. You trying to be like, you're trying to fit in. You're trying to be whatever popular. But when I got to Percy's, man, the classes were small and I was moving together with the same people. So I was just, bro, there was no way you can hide. It's like 12 kids in the class or less than that. Where you going to hide at?
Yep.
So the teachers definitely help, man.
No, I love that because this podcast is all about telling our stories, our journeys, and shoot, some might not be beautiful, but kind of love that piece about this podcast.
Part 1, Isaac shared the foundation of his journey, where he comes from. the obstacles he faced, and the mindset it took just to stay in the game. But the journey doesn't stop there. In part 2, we take things a step further. Isaac opens up about the moments where comfort could have held him back and why he chose to step outside of it. From staying in Illinois to compete with higher level players, to embracing discipline, new coaching styles, and unfamiliar systems. This next chapter shows what real growth demands. And part 1 was about the journey. Part 2 is about the decisions that separate staying comfortable from chasing the professional level. Thank you for tuning in to part 1 of the Pro Pathway with Isaac Kannah. We'll see you in part 2.